presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
On Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere. Celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network. Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Oklahoma Sports Network, this is Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray. We are at Carl Albert High School today for the final district game of the season for the Carl Albert Titans as they take on crosstown rival Midwest City Bombers. These two teams faced off 1 week ago the wire. Carl Albert had runners in scoring position as the final out was called on the field in the top of the 7th inning. 3-2 the final score as Midwest City got that victory behind a strong pitching outing by Norelli Brown. She has gotten it done this year on the mound, leading statistically for the Midwest City Bombers, leading statistically as a pitcher nationwide with strikeouts. It's been a phenomenal job, but Midwest City has come up with a couple of losses here in the week since they played Carl Albert, and Carl Albert's gone 1-1 since facing Midwest City. The difference being Midwest City lost a district game, Carl Albert won a district game, so Carl Albert's back in the driver's seat here in this one. The starting batting lineup for the Midwest City Bombers, as they are the visitor on the scoreboard today, is the shortstop, Addie Scott, followed by second baseman Jada Jacobs, first baseman Liv Davis, the pitcher Norelli Brown, center fielder Natalia Wilson, the third baseman Cadence Berry. We'll have the designated hitter in Gabby Williams, the catcher Paige McCormick, a left fielder Amari Russell, and then the flex player, not in the batting lineup, but playing in the outfield for Midwest City, is Kylie Sutliff. On the field, and we are underway here. First pitch has been thrown. Second pitch gets down a little low in the dirt. And is the scoreboard way out in left field? Is that where it's located? Yep, I cannot see the scoreboard. So I'll have to do a really close job of watching the umpire here and keeping track of the count. Strike called on a swing and a miss. Again, Addie Scott at the plate. Pitching today for the Carl Albert Lady Titans is a foul ball over outside the first baseline. Pitching day for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Kinley Sutton catching is Bailey Arushi. And I'm looking at the wrong lineup here on the field. Let me make sure I've got this right. I've got Kinsley Flynn listed as the catcher. Another pop-up foul ball. This is going to land on top of the first base dugout.
All right, who'd you have listed as the catcher?
Well, on the batting lineup, it lists Bailey Rushi, but on the
strikeout.
Strikeout there. That's out number 1. And on our fielding chart, I actually have Kinsley Flynn listed as the catcher, Kinsley Flynn. So
that may be a
typo
on my part.
Make sure we get that right after we can see numbers.
It is. It should be Rushi as catcher.
All right. High pitch comes in for the ball. At the plate now after the strikeout by Addie Scott is Jada Jacobs. So just to round out the defense, make sure we get this accurate. The defense for the Carl Albert Lady Titans on the mound again is Kinley Sutton. Behind the plate, Bailey Rushi. At first base, Madison Etheridge. At second base, A.J. Bennett. Third base is Alexis Miller. The shortstop is Addison Purcell. Left field's Adeline Smith. Center fielder is Journey LaValle. And right fielder's Parker Buddy. Foul ball hit down the third base line. That one pops up and goes way outside. Sutton did not face the Midwest City batters last week, as Madison Etheridge had duties on the mound last week. Gave up only 3 runs, and all 3 of those were early in the first period. Did not give up another run after the first 4 batters she faced. Sutton takes a couple of slaps of the ball in her glove, takes a nice look, steps, delivers, and the strikeout is called. So 2 batters and 2 strikeouts for Kinley Sutton. Liv Davis now stepping up to the plate, the first baseman for the Midwest City Bombers. She's a lefty. That first pitch comes in, just misses the outside corner. One and 0 the count to Davis. And that one, a little bit of a change up there, comes into the strike zone, 1-1 the count. Now, Jordan, this game has tremendous implications as far as district standings go, and therefore the matchups that would ensue in regional play that's coming up very soon now. Midwest City could finish anywhere first, second, or third in district, as they have another game coming up after this one, another district game against Guthrie, who they lost to by 1 in extra innings just 2 weeks ago. Carl Albert has the 1 loss in district, that one to Midwest City. So Midwest City with a win here could put themselves in the driver's seat to finish first place in district. They could finish at second or third with a loss to Carl Albert. Carl Albert could finish at first or second in district, depending on a win or a loss here. So strikeout number 3, 3 up, 3 down, 3 Ks for Kinley Sutton after 1 period of play. So we're headed to the bottom of the first inning with the score still knotted up 0-0. Your batting lineup for the Carl Albert Lady Titans will lead off with a center fielder, Journey LaValle, followed by second baseman A.J. Bennett, third baseman Alexis Miller, your catcher Bailey Rushi, first baseman Madison Etheridge, left fielder Adeline Smith, right fielder Parker Buddy, the pitcher Kinley Sutton in the 8-hole, and the 9-hole hitter is the shortstop Addison Purcell. The outfield for the Midwest City Lady Bombers. Again, Norelli Brown, the ace, on the mound. She's been getting it done for the Bombers all season and looking for another win here against crosstown rivals. Behind the plate, Paige McCormick. At first base, Liv Davis. Second base, Jada Jacobs. Third base, Cadence Berry. Shortstop, Addie Scott. Left fielder, Amari Russell. Center field, Natalia Wilson. And right field, Kylie Sutliff.
Real quick, let's go and show you the standings you were talking about, Tracy. So Carl Albert is in sole possession of first place. They're pretty much guaranteed, not pretty much, they are, to host a regional again. They haven't won their district in a few years because they've been in the same district as Piedmont. Piedmont's now moved on to 6A. So Midwest City can still overtake Carl Albert and win the district, but they got to win out and beat Guthrie. And if Midwest City was to lose to Guthrie on Monday, no matter what they do here, they would find themselves the 3 seed. So even though this game is big, the Guthrie game might be even bigger if it's just about simply hosting a regional.
So we're about ready to get the first pitch of the bottom half of the first. Midwest City in the field. Carl Albert, the home team, at the plate. Journey LaValle, lefty, batting. LaValle had a strikeout, a fly ball to left field, and was safe on an error in her 3 at-bats last week. Swing and a miss, foul, I should say a miss, fouls that one into the backstop.
You see that shadow there, Tracy? Always we have an unusual camera angle because this press box is on the third base side instead of right behind home plate. So with some unique camera angles, but we should get most of the good stuff for you.
Yeah, if you look at the top middle of that shadow, folks, that's Jordan and I that you're looking at in the shadow.
Yeah, it's our building. What a building we share.
LaValle still battling here against Brown. Pitch, little pop-up infield, fielded by the shortstop, Addie Scott, on the run, out number 1.
Well, you may remember Addie Scott last week played catcher. They moved her to shortstop. Coach Judson wants to shore up the defense, so that's one of the changes in the Carl Albert lineup. And first play at the ball, first chance at the play, the ball went well for her.
There were some errors and mistakes late in the game in that 7th inning that Midwest City almost gave that game away against Carl Albert last week. And so Coach Judson looking to, as you said, shore up that defense and make sure that they don't allow that to happen again. LaValle out, and now at the plate, A.J. Bennett. Brown delivers. That ball a little low. Brown's got some good movement on her ball. She can place it pretty well. It's not just the domineering speed that you see from her, but good control over her pitches. That one's low and outside. And the count's 2-1 now to Bennett.
Of course, the interesting thing to see, will Carl Albert have a different approach the second time facing Norelli Brown? She did give up more hits than usual against Del Reno on Monday, the second time facing them.
Hard hit ball, short left field. Little Texas leaguer out there is going to put Bennett safely at first.
Remember, last game against Carl Albert, Norelli did not give up a base hit till right about the 6th inning.
Yeah, and she's given one up here now in the first. Get a base runner on, and that brings Alexis Miller to the plate with a runner at first and only 1 out. Bennett still heads for second as soon as the ball is released, and an catcher misses the pitch off the top of her glove. Bennett goes on to third. Throw comes in. Bennett gets down. Scott cannot handle the throw at third base, and Bennett is standing up at third base now, ready to score, as Miller now with a little bit of a cushion and ahead in the count.
Well, that was the concern, is would Paige McCormick be able to field every pitch from Norelli Brown?
So 1 out, a runner at third for Carl Albert. Miller fouls the bunt into the backstop. It looked like a hit and run as Bennett was coming from third, but after the foul, she has to turn around and head back to third base.
Obviously, with a runner at third, that's when you really want to strike out if you're Midwest City. For Carl Albert, you just want to put the ball in play somehow.
Yeah, with only one out, Carl Albert in a great position for a sacrifice bunt, a sacrifice, hit of some kind here. So to score that first run and get up on the scoreboard.
It was out of the camera view, but McCormick did not handle that pitch cleanly. Kept it in front of her, though. So, again, that's something to look out for.
This is a Carl Albert team that can get aggressive. Bunt laid down, rolls foul down the third baseline. Carl Albert has scored a lot of runs this year, and they can get real aggressive here. If McCormick's struggling behind the plate, we may see a switch and see Scott head back behind the plate again, which obviously in Coach Judson's mind creates a little bit of a deficiency in the infield.
Yeah, you just wherever Addie Scott's not is something that you got to think about.
High pitch again. Norelli's letting some get away from her up high right now.
Yeah, she needs this strikeout. She's got 2 strikes. This is when you want to take advantage of that. And
that pitch is not only high enough that McCormick's having to come up out of her stance to get to it, it's coming with some heat as well. Strikeout
Huge
call. Wow. Big call. That one looked a little low in the strike zone from here, but my angle is not real good looking down at the plate. And there's the first strikeout of the game for Brown. 2 outs now with the runner in scoring position at third. Strike called against Bailey Ruschi, the batter. 0-1 the count for Ruschi.
Again, that pitch got away from Page, but not enough. And it was still called a strike. She's really got to bear down here.
A little bit of a breeze blowing toward right field. Hard hit ball gets past shortstop. Addie Scott into the left field, scores the run, and Ruschi safe at first.
Ruschi's a talented athlete. Her sister played basketball at Carl Albert. And she plays different positions. She's catching today.
Got a pinch runner coming in for Ruschi. Ruschi, who is the catcher, so a courtesy runner can come in for her without having an impact on the lineup. Olivia Triana, the courtesy runner, comes into the game. For those of you not familiar with the rules of softball, you do not have to declare it as like a full substitution if you have a courtesy runner come in for the pitcher or the catcher. The runner can come in and the catcher or pitcher can just re-enter the game on defense as if there was no substitution at all. And you can do that every at-bat. Foul ball hit over past the first base dugout for strike 1.
You can even do that one time for other batters, but only one time.
Madison Etheridge, the batter, swing and a miss, throw to second, and out called on the slide by Triana at second base. That's the final out of the first inning, but Carl Albert gets on the board and leads this one 1-0 in this Midwest City duel between the Midwest City Bombers and the Carl Albert Titans here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling. This looks like you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School for Class 5A district softball play between the Carl Albert Lady Titans and the Midwest City Lady Bombers. This game could decide first, second, and third. Not decide third, but could definitely decide the district champion. Carl Albert lost to Midwest City last Thursday at Midwest City by 1 run. 3-2 was the final in that one. Midwest City has a loss to Guthrie and a loss to El Reno in district play. That loss to El Reno happened just this past week, and Midwest City was in the driver's seat before that loss. They also had the loss to, Guthrie and El Reno, as I said.
Yeah, 2 one-run losses on the road.
Both extra inning losses.
Both were in the final at bat.
Yeah. So at the plate is Norelli Brown now for Midwest City, the leadoff batter here in the second inning. It's 1-0. Carl Albert on top of Midwest City after 1.
By the way, I was a little critical of, not trying to be so much critical of Paige, the catcher for Midwest City, about how if she was able to catch cleanly Norelli Brown pitches. But one thing Coach Judson said is she can throw out base runners, and that's exactly what she did in the bottom of the first inning. Great
point. So even though she struggled on a couple of pitches, she got it done defensively on the throw.
Yes, she did.
And to her, a caveat on that, talking about her struggling, well, she has not been the starting pitcher regularly with Norelli Brown during the season.
No.
So stepping into that role is, especially with a pitcher with the heat that Brown carries, is awfully daunting task here late in the season.
Yeah, if you get them experienced, then they'll be definitely a postseason threat no matter where they end up playing. But she was not eligible because she moved from Choctaw. They got her eligible, though, in the last week. And so there she is catching for Midwest City. We see a good catching performance so far from Rushi, though, for Carl Albert.
Full count now to Brown, I believe. Swing, pop up. That one might find the grass. It does, just over the head of second baseman, and Brown is on safely. That's the first base runner for the Midwest City Lady Bombers.
She had a base hit her first at bat last week against Carl Albert. And that was a 2 RBI single. This time she's a leadoff hitter in the second inning.
A similar hit that went over the shortstop's head last week into shallow left field. This one goes into shallow right field, and that brings to the plate Natalia Wilson. Wilson last week had a single in her first at-bat, shallow right field, and then struck out twice. Runner at first with no outs for the Midwest City Lady Bombers. Swing and a miss for Wilson. And it counts 1-1 to Wilson. No outs on the board. Another little shallow pop-up caught by second base. Throw back to first, and they got the double play. Brown got just a little bit of a lead, and she dove back for the bag at first base and could not get there in time. It was A.J. Bennett with a catch, making the throw to Madison Etheridge at first base for the double play.
It looks like Brown just lost track of the ball and just was really indecisive there. You can't blame her because if that ball's dropped, she's an easy out at second.
Yeah, I thought that ball was going deeper. Looking at it here, of course, we're looking through the mesh, which can affect your perception. I thought it was going deeper, and Brown may have thought the same thing. Cadence Berry at the plate now for Midwest City. 2 swings and 2 misses, strike 2 to Cadence Berry. And strike 3, and that's 4 strikeouts for Kinley Sutton now. It wasn't a 3 up, 3 down the traditional way, but ultimately it was 3 up and 3 down after Norelli Brown got a hit and then was thrown out on the double play. We're going to the bottom of the second inning. Madison Etheridge should be back at the plate as she was the batter whenever the final out occurred on the attempted stolen base. So Madison Etheridge should be leading off for Carl Albert as we go to the bottom of the second with Carl Albert leading 1-0 here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School. Bottom of the second inning, Carl Albert leads 1-0. Madison Etheridge at the plate for Carl Albert. Norelli Brown on the mound for Midwest City. It's a 1-0 lead for the Titans. And a foul ball hit over the first base dugout. During the break there, Jordan, we had Thunder and Lightning playing in the stands, and after last Thursday evening game, I went home to a thunderstorm and had lightning destroy an 80-foot tree next to my house and hit my house, which created all sorts of work for me this week with fixing damaged electronics. My well pump went out. I had to replace it. Just a flurry of problems, not to mention massive amount of wood cleanup to do.
Well, at least it was late at night, so it didn't interfere with any sporting events.
Oh, it did not interfere with sporting events. It did interfere with sleep, though.
That second strike Norelli threw was a nice off-speed pitch.
High fly ball going shallow right field, and the second baseman, right fielder run into each other, and the ball falls to the turf. Oh, my goodness.
Now,
Jada Jacobs and Kylie Sutliff run into each other. Sutliff had that ball. Somebody did not call the other off.
I think in that situation you blame the infielder. The outfielder's got the better angle because they're not running backwards.
I believe so.
Or maybe you blame the outfielder if they were not vocal. They got to be loud.
You know, it's interesting. Do you score that as an error on the officially? Would you score it as an error on right field or an error at second? I think you're right. It was second baseman's job to get out of the way and the right fielder's job to call her off, but you know, either way it's an error, and we have a base runner at first base.
Yeah, Bombers don't have much margin of error here. They've not hit Carl Albert well since the first inning of last week's game, so they can't allow much more damage to be done.
Little slap hit right back to Brown. She makes the throw to first, but Etheridge advances the second with one out on the board. Carl Albert has a runner in scoring position again. That was Adeline Smith laying that one down, and now Parker Buddy, the right fielder, comes to the plate. Norelli Brown fielded that ball, made the throw over to Liv Davis at first base.
Got a special guest joining us here.
Coach LaValle joining us. Is that accurate? Let's see, we got your mic turned on.
Coach Tim LaValle, thank you for joining us here.
Yeah, good to be here. What do you think about this so far?
Well, good offensive start for Carl Albert, especially as compared to last week. And, of course, last week it was Midwest City getting the start in the first inning and then getting shut down the rest of the game. Right now, Sutton doing a good job of keeping Midwest City shut down these first two innings.
Right. Yeah. Right. When I was at the other game, there was a lot of mistakes made in that first inning, and that cost them the whole game. This girl in the bump here, I'm a baseball guy, so you got to go with the terminology here, but the girl that's pitching here from Midwest City, she's elite. I mean, she is spectacular.
Leading the nation in strikeouts last week. I'm not sure where she stands in that statistical category right now, but she's still right up there at the top.
Well, she had plenty against Del Reno. But, Coach, what do you think about facing a good pitcher like that the second time in a week? Do the batters get a little bit more of have a little bit more of an edge?
Yes and no. I mean, they obviously got a wake-up call. I don't know if they expected to see that last week. And so I know they've been putting a lot of work in. My daughter especially was a little upset. And she's actually played with this girl in travel ball before, and so they kind of got a relationship. But I think they kind of marked it on their calendar after that loss last week to put some little extra juice in the game.
Well, just to get folks caught up on that last play, it was Parker Buddy getting a third strike that was dropped by the catcher. She was thrown out at first, but Etheridge advances to third on the play. So with 2 outs on the board now, Etheridge is in strong scoring position at third base. Kinley Sutton now at the plate.
Well, that's interesting that Journey and Norelli, so two players from opposite teams, but they know each other well. And you do see that a lot of times when you have these Midwest City Carl Albert matchups.
Oh, it's a great thing, part of the game I really like. I had an older daughter play travel ball, and she had a good college career, and I don't know how many girls that she came across through her whole journey in softball that she played with, played against, or and it's special because they after sports is over, after softball is over, they still keep that bond and contact. I think it's great.
Softball, a phenomenal sport. Just the energy, the passion, dare I use the word, the innocence of the game. It's just a phenomenal sport.
Oh, it is. And my oldest boy, he played college ball. When he was done, he went straight to coaching softball. He loved it. And now he's an assistant coach at St. Louis, Missouri, St. Louis University. And he's in heaven.
That's awesome.
I've never heard anyone describe St. Louis as heaven before, but I understand what you're saying.
When you get out and get your first Division I job, that's heaven.
There you go.
That's funny. Yeah.
I've been to St. Louis. It didn't look like heaven.
Downtown's a little shaky.
Sutton just battling here. She's fouled several off into the backstop, driving the pitch count up on Norelli Brown here a little bit. But this is a good battle going on between the two right now.
By the way, Paige McCormick did have a good stab at one of the pitches that kept the run from scoring. This is real important for her to not let anything get by her.
Another ball fouled into the backstop by Sutton.
But, Coach, it has to be fun not coaching and just watching, and especially since you got your state championships already under your belt of coaching baseball and stuff like that.
Well, yes. I have 5 children, and when I retired, I was able to watch all of them. I didn't know what I was missing, to be honest with you, because you put so much time in the game. But since I've been retired, I picked me up a little part-time job, and I've done nothing but travel, follow my kids. It's been really good.
All right, let's take a quick break.
Kinley Sutton struck out for the final out of the inning. Runner stranded at third base there in the bottom of the second. The score remains 1-0. Carl Albert leading Midwest City after 2 innings of play. We're going to take a quick break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, and Coach Tim LaValle with us here as the Carl Albert Titans are hosting the Midwest City Bombers in this Class 5A district softball game. We're at the top of the third. Midwest City at bat. The score is 1-0. Carl Albert on top. We're at the 7-hole hitter now for Midwest City, Gabby Williams at the plate. On the mound, Kinley Sutton getting it done so far for the Carl Albert Titans with 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. Only faced 6 batters so far.
Yeah, Coach, Kinley Sutton, I mean, she didn't pitch a week ago, but she's shown some really good stuff herself here.
Yeah, she's on fire. I was behind the screen watching both pitch a little bit, and she's just bringing it right now. She's, I think, a girl on a mission if you want to look. I mean, it's just in the zone.
Well, Gabby reached for a high outside pitch for strike 3, and that's strikeout number 5 for Kinley Sutton. That brings Paige McCormick to the plate. McCormick, the catcher in today's game.
I think McCormick's gotten more comfortable catching. A couple of balls got past her in the first inning.
Late call on the strike, at least from the signal. Verbally may have called it, can't hear it from here, but Pitch was a little high in the zone, but it did find the zone. Foul ball into the backstop for strike 2.
Now, Coach, if you could remind us, what years were you the baseball coach at Carl Albert?
I got the head coaching job in 2017, spring of 17, all the way through 2021.
And so you coached Hutch Russell's brother, Houston.
Houston, great player, great catcher, great sense of the game. I mean, I usually call pitches, and that boy was in my hip pocket the whole time. Understood the game, learned the game, and I turned it over to him his senior year. I didn't have to really put much into play calling.
Well, I know he was at I think Purdue last year, and because I worked with his mom at Mill City High School, and she would talk about having to get flights to West Lafayette during the spring. It was a bit time consuming.
I know, but what a a career and a challenge for him.
Another strikeout for Sutton. That's strikeout number 5 for her now. And Paige McCormick also reached for a high outside pitch for the 3rd strike. And Amari Russell now at the plate, a lefty.
Yeah, I love both those boys, Houston and Hutch. They were just ball players, and they were just gamers. They understood the game, and that's a coach's dream when you get stuff like that.
Now, when you're coaching baseball, but then you have daughters playing softball, and you're kind of, I imagine at times you're their personal coach. Is there any?
Yeah.
Did you have to adjust anything to how the softball's different?
Yeah, I mean, hitting as far as fundamentals and mechanics, you try to keep everything sound. Go ahead. Yeah, you have to keep everything sound. You can see what mechanic or what flaw you got in any swing. So that's something I always did with them. We were always in the cages. We were always doing something. So yeah. I mean, girls are a little different though. I mean, you can't hurt their feelings. They get a little drama going sometimes. Boys, you can just get on them and they get after it. So.
Most of them.
You're right. Most of them.
Boy, trying to adjust to that one that doesn't react to that is hard, isn't it?
You're right. Everybody is different, I'll tell you that. That's one of the good things about me and my baseball staff. We had to find the right buttons to push, and I had good coaches. I had really good coaches with me, and we always found the right buttons to push. And I had a great career there at Carl Albert, had great coaches. I was at Edmond Santa Fe for about 8 years under Lonnie Cobble, had a lot of great coaches there that helped, and I look back, I had a great career. I really did.
Well, the top half of the 3rd closed out with Kinley Sutton getting 3 strikeouts in the top of the 3rd. Amari Russell, the lefty, was looking for kind of that slap hit as she was running forward in the batter's box, swing and a miss each time on a low pitch for the final strikeout. That brings the 9-hole hitter to the plate for Carl Albert here in the bottom of the 3rd, Addison Purcell, the shortstop. Norelli Brown still on the mound. Pitch just misses the strike zone. I was waiting to see. I wasn't sure if that was going to get called a strike or not. Well, the angles from the press box are always so hard to tell, Yeah,
they are. And, I always look at, like, catcher's feet and where their glove is lined up and things like that. That kind of gives you an idea where the pitch might be. I always tell my, coaches watch how the catchers shift their feet to kind of tell you what they're looking for. And then you can go by where they catch it.
1-1 the count now to Purcell. Brown rolls that one to McCormick. That one hits. She just come out of her hand early and hits the ground about 10, 15 feet in front of her.
So, Coach, have you gotten a chance to know the new Carl Albert softball coach, Coach Baza, very well?
Oh, yeah, I love Coach Baza. I knew him when he was at Deer Creek. We actually went after each other. We had a ball game once. I had T.J. Mullins, who was being highly recruited. He had a kid, I can't remember his name, about 6'10", righty, throwing 95, 96, I don't know. We had scouts everywhere. Me and Baza were just laughing, like, where do we go hide,
2-2 pitch is fouled into the backstop.
Yeah, I've always had a lot of respect for Coach Baza. He knows the game. He understands the game. He knows mechanics. He knows fundamentals. And he knows it on both sides, softball and baseball. That's the one thing I could not ever transition to with softball, and Baza does a great job.
Yeah, he is the assistant baseball coach, or one of them, for Coach Whiteley, your successor.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Coach Wiley, man, you talk about a luck of the draw. I mean, they walked up one day wanting to know if there was openings, if I would take him. I knew who he was, and I said, yes, sir, we got him. Take him, hire him, whatever you got to do. Any NIL money or something, get this guy on board.
Well, a nice location there from Norelli Brown, and she's starting to get in a rhythm here.
Purcell strikes out, and that brings to the plate Coach LaValle. That brings Journey LaValle to the plate.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's a good story on her, and we'll watch her hit here.
You have a few stories, I'd imagine.
She did put the ball in play in her first at-bat, a little fly ball. It was caught by the shortstop.
Now, her drag bunting ability, I imagine, have you coached her with that?
A little bit. A little bit, yeah.
Not the easiest pitcher to do that against.
No, this one, I think she pulled it back. She thought that was a little low and away, but that's what you do. If you're going to try to bunt on the first pitch, it's got to be your pitch to bunt. She did a good job of pulling that back.
Now, are your other kids, are they center fielders like her, or do they spread out on the baseball field position-wise?
She's the first outfielder I have. I've had a middle infielder, boy, and then my oldest daughter was a catcher. And then I had a volleyball player. So.
2-1 the count. 1-2 the count.
And and Journey is going to Southern Nazarene?
Yeah. She, I tell you, she's been doing so great. She didn't really play travel ball till 14. She didn't even play softball till about 6th, 7th grade. And it took a while for her to figure it out, but every year she's just gotten better and better and better. And she puts a lot of work into it. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah. Is she a natural lefty? Nice golf swing.
Another ball put in play. This one again. Oh, my goodness, what a catch.
Held on to it there.
Jada Jacobs collides again with an outfielder. So some bad communication taking place between second baseman and the outfielders out there for Midwest City. That's the second time we've had a collision. This time the ball was held on to for the out.
Now, Coach, when two infielders are going for a ball like that, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
As far as who's supposed to be called off.
Well, the way you kind of want to look at it is a shortstop has precedence over everybody. I mean, priority, and the shortstop's got to call everything if they're going to take it. If an outfielder thinks they have it, they need to get the infielder off of it right there. And I don't know how much communication was going on, but I'll tell you what, that was a good pitch by the pitcher to Journey. She threw a little change up, and Journey did a good job of trying to get the barrel on it. But that ball just happened to be, I guess, in the wrong place for those for the infielders because, man, that was quite a collision.
Well, you caught the second baseman in a collision with the right fielder.
It was not as impactful of a collision, as far as on their bodies, but the ball was dropped in the previous one.
And the rule of thumb is all infielders go for everything you can get. And an outfielder, if you're going to come get it, you get them off of it and call out loud and take it. But if there's no communication, you're going to get some issues.
So a couple of fly balls that just on the backside of the infield for LaValle. That one caught just behind second base for out number 2, and A.J. Bennett now at the plate. Bennett had a single into shallow left field in her first at-bat. Again, the score is 1-0. Carl Albert leading Midwest City. We're in the bottom of the third.
Coach, one of the interesting things about these softball players that play high school softball and then they go into college, I think in college it's a spring sport. So they have almost a full year before they play for their school. I'm sure they play some travel ball though.
Yeah, travel ball is interesting.
Bennett gets one to fall again. This one just past second base out on the grass for a single.
Yeah, travel ball is interesting. As soon as the state tournament's over in this fall, the next weekend I think we're in Grapevine, Texas for a tournament. Then we go to College Station the weekend after that. I think then Bouse here in Choctaw, and then I think at Fire Lakes another. I mean, we're just 1 week after the other in the fall till the weather tells us we can't play. And then, March it starts kicking up every weekend. There's possibly a tournament all the way till the end of July. So they get plenty of ball in, that's for sure.
Alexis Miller at the plate now. She struck out in her first at bat, has the runner at first with 2 outs. Change up, throw to second, goes over her head into the center field. Wilson is there to pick that overthrow up in a hurry, holds the runner at second.
Now you can see Paige McCormick made a good throw, just a little bit high, but she does have an arm to her.
Foul ball over the first base dugout. Just a line drive over the roof of the dugout. I hesitantly parked back here behind the concession stand.
If you want to find my car, it's way over there on the other side of the parking lot. And it's a beat-up car, you think I'd not take any chances, but no, it's over there.
Miller takes her time, gets set in the box. Brown's in her stance. Pop up high. Is it playable? It's not. It lands in the stands just over the backstop.
Go back to a question you asked me about batting left-handed.
Yeah.
Just to kind of let you know, all my kids are right-handed throwers. I put the bat in their left hand when they was, I guess when they crawled or just got out of diapers. I wanted them all to start left-handed, and then baseball tried to do the switch hit thing, but left-handers have an advantage in softball. You'll find that. Most college coaches love that. So that's why.
Yeah, we saw that with Hutch Russell, too. Took some off that.
Alexis Miller shocked by the strike call, but the changeup comes in and just comes over the edge of the strike zone, I guess. And that is out number 3. No runs scored in the last 2 innings. It's a 1-0 lead for Carl Albert over Midwest City after 3 innings of play. And we're going to take a break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us. This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you!
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Coach Tim LaValle still with us here at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Lady Titans lead the Midwest City Lady Bombers 1-0 after 3 innings of play in this Class 5A district matchup. This is the last district game of the season for Carl Albert. Midwest City still has a rematch with Guthrie looming. They lost to Guthrie by 1 in extra innings in their previous matchup. And Carl Albert could finish first with the win here in the district standings. They could finish second with a loss. Midwest City could finish anywhere first, second, or third in district. So a lot riding for both of these teams right now. First and second place teams host a regional matchup.
Coach, was it your view that it didn't really matter if you guys finished first or second as long as you host, or did you want first place if you could get it?
Well, you always wanted first place, and the reason for that is in baseball, the district tournament, you would face or in regional tournament, if you win the regionals, you play a number 2 team on the east side, a 2-seed regional. Softball does it a little different, which if in the way they do things, yes, you want to finish first or second, play your regional out. And if they still do what I believe they do, they vote. The teams that make it to the state tournament, they will rank everybody top to bottom and then seed them from that. So the key is just to get a regional, win it, and see how the chips fall after that.
There's the first walk of the ball game as Kinley Sutton issues the base on balls to Addie Scott back at the top of the lineup, leading off here in this fourth inning. So Addie Scott safely on first brings Jada Jacobs to the plate. Jacobs got a little bit banged up on that collision out there on the catch earlier, but she's back on her feet. And
you see, Coach, the infielders, they're expecting a bunt.
Yeah, right. And when we was over there last week, this girl did a really good job of putting the ball down and advancing runners. So once this girl got on.
Nice hard bunt down the third baseline. It goes foul.
They turned her around. I believe she batted right-handed in the first inning. I'm almost positive.
She may have.
But I think when it's a advance the runner situation, they have her on the other side. So.
Yeah, no, switch hitting's probably different in softball than it is in baseball.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And, some girls do it. I saw a switch hitter at Baylor that was really powerful from both sides. Is there an advantage?
Oh, look at her. Yeah, she's turning around.
There you go. She turned around, yeah.
Yep.
That is interesting. I don't know. I've actually not seen that. I haven't watched enough softball, Coach, but you would not – I don't think you'd see that in baseball.
Not very often. High pitch from Sutton.
You know what? It might not be a bad idea. It might change Sutton's eye, and they have a problem here.
Or if Jacobs just feels more comfortable with two strikes.
I probably agree. Yeah.
Batting righty.
Swing and a miss by Jacobs.
It'd be really nice for Midwest City if they could get Scott in scoring position for Norelli Brown, who's the next batter.
8 strikeouts for Sutton now in 3.5 innings, facing Liv Davis. Davis pops one up into the backstop.
So, Coach, did Journey or your other daughter, did they ever pitch in softball?
No. They've never. Actually, Journey, she just began playing not too long ago. She has some speed. She's the fastest kid I've got, and she went right to the outfield. Zadie, my older daughter, she looked at catching when she was, I think, 10 or 11 years old, and never looked back after she got back there, and she just loved it. And she was a left-handed hitting catcher, and that was a commodity, which by luck that happened to her.
But I meant to say pitching. Did they ever think about pitching?
No, I don't think they ever thought about it. I mean, they get in the backyard and play around, but man, it takes a little talent to be a pitcher.
So explain to me that you say that's a commodity with the left-handed catcher. I can see where it's harder to make a throw to third as a lefty catcher. Didn't see the play down the third base line, but evidently had a ball fall in fair.
That's big.
And now there's runners at first and second with one out after Liv Davis gets on safely and advances a runner to second.
This is a spot that Norelli Brown flourished in last game. When runners in scoring position, she cashed in. She has a base hit already. So it's a very big at bat early on.
So Norelli Brown, as Jordan is saying, coming to the plate. She had a hit in her first at bat, just over second base, as she was eventually thrown out at first on the failure to tag up on the infield fly ball. Strike one to Brown.
The reason I asked about your daughter's pitch is just because it's interesting how in softball you can pitch much more often.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can pitch all day long. That's what's amazing about these girls. I mean, the only thing that wears them out is, obviously the duration. If you throw 150, 60 pitches, they'll be tired. But no, my daughter, she was always a left-handed hitter, and when she wanted to catch, that was kind of one of the things that everybody said. She's a right-handed thrower catcher that bats left-handed, and you don't see that a lot. A lot of times you see the left-handed catchers that hit left, but
high hit ball going back just inside fair territory behind third base. That one's caught for out number 2. And that was shortstop Addison Purcell making the catch.
It's a big out. This is a huge at bat now because it's up to this player.
Natalia Wilson hit a fly ball that was caught at second base, her first at bat. She's going to hit a foul ball. Almost playable foul in right field. Runners at first and second still, 2 outs on the board. A 1-run lead by Carl Albert, 1-0 the score. Top of the 4th inning. Hard hit ball lined into the center field.
To tie it.
That's going to score a run. Ties up the ball game. And runners at first and second. It's a 1-1. Here's your instant replay. Instant replay is brought to you by the Eastside Church of Christ. Eastside Church of Christ, located 916 South Douglas Boulevard, Midwest City. A lot of great benevolent activities taking place there to serve the Midwest City community. Cadence Berry swings at a low pitch, strike 1.
It is interesting, Coach. The other difference between the two sports, at least for OSSAA, is how in baseball you play the same opponent on a Monday and Tuesday for district, and here they break it up for softball.
Yeah, I know. I don't quite understand that, but it is what it is. I guess that's good. You know, in baseball, you got a 1 and a 2, and the reason they put them back to back in baseball is because a lot of teams may just have a 1. They just may have that ace, and if you pitch on Monday and turn around and see them again on Friday, they can pitch the same guy, and you know that's just kind of a coaching rule. Let's put them back to back, and let's battle 1s and 2s.
Cadence Berry goes down looking for the strikeout. We're tied up 1-1 going to the bottom of the 4th. Took a while to get the second strikeout in the inning, but Kinley Sutton finally gets it. She has 9 strikeouts on the game, and we're going to take a break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray. Coach Tim LaValle's been with us for a couple of innings, but he stepped back out of the press box here and go down to watch his daughter play some softball, join his rest of his family, and enjoy the game. Appreciate him being with us. Some great insight, not only into the sport, but just into high school sports in general, and appreciate that very much. It's 1-1 here as it run was driven in by Natalia Wilson, scoring Addie Scott to tie the game up 1-1. Norelli Brown still on the mound for Midwest City, and coming to the plate is Bailey Rushi for Carl Albert here in the bottom of the 4th inning. What were you saying there, Jordan?
This is what we're hoping for here. It's just important for Midwest City that they have good defense supporting Norelli Brown. And then for Carl Albert, just try to get another base runner in. They got good hitters throughout this lineup too. So this is where it gets interesting, is when you got strength on strength. Norelli Brown pitching, and Carl Albert has a good lineup. If you saw him against Guthrie, they scored double figures both games. Obviously, it's a little different against a pitcher like Norelli Brown. So it's interesting these matchups here, and that's why it's so big when Midwest City can get a run in like they did with 2 outs. We have a bit of a delay.
5 strikeouts issued by Norelli Brown through 3 innings. Kinley Sutton has 9 strikeouts issued through 4 innings.
Yeah, Coach Judson is coming out to talk to the home plate umpire about something. It's not in our camera view.
Looks like we got Maybe you'd expect some type of batting lineup change, right?
Yeah, I don't see any. Well, the second baseman. Jacobs is not in second base anymore. So we'll have to look and see who that is there when we get a number.
I believe that might be Kylie Sutliff, who was in
right field.
Right field. I can't see the number, but it looks like the young lady. So
you may be right. That may be Aaliyah Williams now, who started in right field last week in there. Yeah, that's tough for Jacobs. I mean, she had two tough plays. One ended up being a catch. One did not. It did not lead to run. I think, and you have the roster, Tracy. Number 16 is the second baseman.
16. Let me see. I've got the roster over here. I'm getting to it. Apologize. I do not have a number 16 on the roster.
I may have the number wrong, but we got a first pitch, foul and strike.
Looks like number not sure. Midwest City is going to pair up, come to the mound, have a little conference real quick, so we might be able to see the number when the second baseman turns around and heads back the other way.
Well, they're also Paige McCormick's down. We don't have that in the camera view, but she got nicked on the pitch. And
all right.
Boy, Midwest City's getting banged up right here.
Banged up's not something you see often in a softball game, but it does happen.
If you remember the the second baseman Jacobs, who's come out of the game, she was a shortstop last week. So Addie Scott's playing there now. Addie Scott would probably have to go catch if Paige McCormick can't stay in this game. So this is very interesting here.
Yeah, the question is if Addie Scott has to go catch, does Jetta Jacobs have anything left to re-enter the game and go play shortstop?
Yeah, you got, I think, a Carl Albert trainer out to look at her. And McCormick is getting up, but she's hobbling. I don't know if they probably would give her some time to warm up before they decide whether they want to maybe take her out.
She's holding her lower back, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's hurting. That could just be a way of supporting herself. So, boy, if her back is.
By the way, it is Kylie Sutliff at second base, number 10.
Okay.
I don't have the best eyesight. I thought it was 16. It's number 10, and that's the second baseman now.
6 and a 0 look a lot alike on a wrinkled uniform.
It can, yes.
6s and 0s and 8s. So it looks like McCormick's going to stay in there, but if her lower back, that definitely looks like that's what she's nursing is what's bothering her. Man, playing catcher is going to be a tough challenge.
And she gets warm-up pitches, obviously, as anyone who's hurt, pitcher or catcher would.
Yeah, she's having trouble squatting down out there. Now that she's down to catch, the question is, if Brown comes with a high pitch, can she get back up to get to it, right? She made the throw okay. Catching is a stress on the body.
Yes, it is.
You got a lot of pressure on your knees. You've got pressure and torque on your waist and hip area.
And her throwing is going to be tested. It wasn't a bad throw to second. I don't think she put all she could on it. It did hit the dirt, but it was accurate.
It was a good enough throw to get a runner out. It was well placed.
Earlier, yeah. I meant that throw she just made as a practice throw, yeah. That was a little bit in the dirt, but it wasn't a terrible throw.
So Rushi's stepping back up to the plate now. Again, the score's 1-1. We're in the bottom of the fourth. The umpire doesn't have his face mask on yet, so he's telling Brown to relax for a second. Hopefully.
No, Norelli threw a pitch too early. And the ump's not happy. That pitch obviously will not count.
Yeah, the umpire barely got his mask on when Brown delivered that pitch. And the umpire had some words to warn her to hold on. I was expecting him to give us a pitch count, and he didn't even get a chance to do that.
I believe the count's 1-1.
That's what the scoreboard says, too. So We are back underway. 1-1's the score, 1-1's the count. No outs, no runners on, bottom of the fourth inning. Bailey Ruschi is the batter. So Jada Jacobs, just to recap what we were talking about, Jada Jacobs, the second baseman for Midwest Cities, left the game after 2 collisions with outfielders. Ruschi gets one hit into left field, and it's caught cleanly. Left fielder, all that Amari Russell had to do is take a couple of steps back and catch that one for out number 1.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Norelli Brown is not dominating Carl Albert like she did last week, where she was just striking out so many. Now she has to rely on her defense a bit more, but they were on the spot there.
Etheridge had that earlier hit when Jacobs and Sutcliffe run into each other out there in shallow right field, so she was on safely on the air. She found herself left at third base at the end of that second inning. 0-1 the count to Etheridge. Hits this one. It's going high. Right center field. And once again, the center fielders this time not communicating. It comes off the glove of the new center fielder out there. And I believe that might be Tegan Price, the sophomore. I'm not sure. I can't see the number well. I believe it's number 12, Tegan Price. And that puts Etheridge safely at second.
This is why Norelli Brown needs to get strikeouts here. Defense is kind of banged up, and they've been struggling a bit anyway.
Adeline Smith hits one down the third baseline. Barry overthrows the first baseman. Etheridge is going to score, and Smith safe at second. The throw from first to second goes into the outfield, and Smith is now standing up at third. Oh, my goodness. The defense for Midwest City has fallen apart on the last couple of batters here. Carl Albert is back on top, 2-1, and Adeline Smith is at third with no outs.
There's one out.
With one out.
Now Coach Barza will come out. By the way, we have an ambulance here in the parking lot. Not sure that's for.
Meeting on the mound for Midwest City. The game is not away from them. They're only down by 1. 2-1's the score, but they have to buckle down here in the bottom of the fourth. Carl Albert threatening to score again as Parker Buddy comes to the plate with one out and a runner at third.
And it's been a good question for Coach LaValle. Should Barry have – she probably did not have to throw that, but she had to charge the ball. What I mean by not throwing, she didn't have to field it. That ball may have been heading foul.
Buddy shows bunt, low pitch. Smith, the base runner at third, got a jump. She heads back to third base. Buddy's in the box. Throw back to third, gets away from the third baseman, and Smith is going to score. Carl Albert's up by 2, 3-1.
I just don't know if that's worth a gamble.
You're up in the count, 0-2. Hold the runner, you know?
Yeah. I get there's one out, so you want to pounce on a ball that's put in play, but
it was not a terrible throw either. It was definitely a playable throw at third base. Swing and a miss, and Buddy's going to strike out. So that could have been 2 outs with a runner at third, and instead the run scores. Strikeout number 6 for Norelli Brown brings Kinley Sutton to the plate. Sutton battled a long time with a lot of pitches in her first trip to the plate. Finally struck out. Sutton thought about the swing, held up, clearly held up, never got close to coming around on the ball. Got some activity taking place elsewhere on the Oklahoma Sports Network as Lawton and Noble are playing right now in high school football district play.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are parked in a non-parking spot, you need to move your vehicle immediately. You are blocking emergency vehicles.
Yeah, we heard the announcement there. We got 2 emergency vehicles here right now, so hopefully whoever that's for is.
Fire truck and the ambulance, both out in the parking lot.
Fire truck guy could have been Buddy's dad, the right fielder for Carl Albert, because he's in the Midwest City, or he's in the fire department. I forget whether it's for Midwest City or somewhere else. Talking about Parker Buddy, of course, whose dad, the firefighter I mentioned, played high school ball at Midwest City and in Division I baseball at Oklahoma State and some pro ball.
Low pitch to Sutton. And the count is now full to Sutton. Don't want to. Well, I guess anything you say is speculation, but there does seem to be some activity in the Midwest City dugout. So potentially something going on with Jada Jacobs right now, and that's not a definite by any means.
First walk for Norelli Brown.
A base runner now at first base with Kinley Sutton on at first. Courtesy runner coming on for Sutton is number 12, London Brown. That'll bring Addison Purcell, the shortstop, to the plate with 2 outs.
And London Brown should be taken off here within the first 2 pitches, you think, especially with McCormick still in pain, as we can see on the camera. Just hope she gets to feeling better soon. That's
well, you know, Coach Roland Baza of the Carl Albert Lady Titans is going to get aggressive with the base running with Brown here. Brown was picked off last Thursday at Midwest City. Purcell in the box. Pitch delivered low. Brown's going. Throw to second. Brown's safe at second. Pitch the throw from home took a hop, but it was right on target.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you are parked illegally in the parking lot, you need to move your vehicle immediately. You are blocking emergency vehicles.
Yeah, not quite the command from Norelli Brown we saw last week.
Brown steals third, headed home on an overthrow, slides in just as the throw comes in from left field, and it is a 4-1 lead for Carl Albert.
Just a problem for Midwest City fielding throws. And that's why that walk was a big deal.
There's been a lot of fielding errors for the Midwest City defense here in this ballgame. A lot of errors on the infield and some on the outfield as well. I don't know the number of errors. I've only scored the errors that put runners on safely. I was not scoring errors that advanced runners, but there have been at least 5 errors at this point.
Yeah, and some of this is fixable. We just hope that, I think Paige McCormick is the catcher going forward for Midwest City. I don't think the throws were her fault, but the team has to get used to her. She's got a really strong arm. Just hope she can recover from her injury there.
Swing and a miss for the strikeout by Addison Purcell. That'll end the 4th inning, but Carl Albert does a lot of damage putting 3 runs on. They now lead 4-1 after 4 innings over the Midwest City Bombers here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This looks like you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School, Class 5A District softball play between the Carl Albert Titans, the Midwest City Bombers. It is now 4-1 after a 3-run fourth by the Carl Albert Titans. Carl Albert leading 4-1 over Midwest City. We're going top of the fifth. Gabby Williams leading off for the Bombers. Williams struck out in her last at bat. This is 7, 8, 9-hole hitters for Midwest City. Their last trips to the plate, they went strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Kinley Sutton with 9 Ks on the game on the mound now. 7 strikeouts through 4 innings for Norelli Brown on the other side.
And Kinley Sutton has been tremendous.
Swinging,
constantly swinging and missing is Midwest City.
Swinging a miss by Gabby Williams. Williams, the designated hitter for Midwest City. And another strike. Williams, the designated hitter last week as well, and wait and see how this one turns out, but thus far in 3 trips to the plate against Carl Albert as a designated hitter, she has not gotten on base. 2 strikeouts, a fly ball that was caught, and here comes a stretcher from the ambulance crew over into the Midwest City dugout, so we're going to have a break in play right now. So we go ahead and take a quick break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Titans lead the Midwest City Bombers 4-1 after 4 innings of play. The leadoff batter here in the 5th is Gabby Williams. We had a little break in action there. The count to Gabby Williams is now 2-2, and strike 3 to Williams.
I want to remind.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, just remind people of the stakes here. Carl Albert wins this game, and they are the district champs for the first time in at least 3 years. They finished second to Piedmont the last 2 years.
Sutton with 10 strikeouts in the game now, and she gets a strike to lead off against Paige McCormick here.
She's still ginger with her back, so this is just tough for her to get a good swing in.
Changeup just missed outside, 1-1 the count. Again, on the Oklahoma Sports Network, we have Lawton High playing football against Noble tonight. And then, man, do we have a lineup tomorrow with a bunch of games tomorrow in district play. McCormick gets a hit. Wow, does not get a hit as the back pain kept her from running very quickly down the baseline, and that little line drive into right field was fielded, and the ball comes in from Parker Buddy to Alexis Miller at first base for the first out. McCormick then, as she was just struggling to run down the baseline, as she gets to first base, she just kind of collapses past first base, and that's all about some back pain for her. And
but it had to feel even more painful because she didn't get that base hit.
Oh, absolutely. And then we just had a Midwest City player that was taken out of the dugout on a stretcher, Jada Jacobs, after two collisions between her and outfielders, and so she was taken out. It did not appear to be a life-threatening emergency by the behaviors of those in the dugout, but nonetheless, she was definitely suffering from some type of pain or injury, and she was taken off with a neck brace on. And so now McCormick struggling out here at first base now.
JUG 824, you need to move your vehicle immediately. You're blocking emergency vehicles. And there's a red Chrysler 200.
Yeah, it has a feel, Tracy, that if you're Midwest City, you need to, rest some players just because they're, you got one you had to take out in Jacobs, and now maybe another in McCormick.
You got a very important game coming up against Guthrie, right?
Yeah, and Guthrie, if they beat Guthrie, even with a loss here to Carl Albert, Midwest City would be the 2 seed, and they would host, and that would be a big deal. So that's Monday. You got 4 days to hopefully be ready to go.
Well, knowing you're down 4-1 in this game makes all of those injuries hurt just a little bit more too,
Yeah, and so McCormick comes up. Of course, she was out. That was the rare 9-3 put out that you don't see that often. But in softball, maybe kind of more common because it's more confined or closer spaces.
Assuming she cannot come back out in the bottom of the 5th to catch, the question for Coach Judson is going to be, does he bring Addie Scott from the shortstop position back to behind the plate? Then who does he move to shortstop? Because Jada Jacobs would have been that person at shortstop. So he has some decisions and choices to make potentially here in the upcoming bottom half of the inning. But right now it's still Midwest City at the plate. Two outs. Amari Russell, the 9-hole hitter, stepping up, batting lefty. She struck out in her first at-bat. And a little grounder going to third. Throw made to first. Nice throw. That one coming from Alexis Miller over to first baseman Madison Etheridge for out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning with Carl Albert leading Midwest City 4-1 here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School where the Carl Albert Titans lead the Midwest City Bombers by a score of 4-1. We've had some injuries on the Midwest City side, and that's changed their starting lineup as well as their defensive fielding. We'll have to wait and see exactly who's in what position as they take the field here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off for Carl Albert in the bottom of the 5th. We're at the top of the lineup with Journey LaValle coming to the plate. And she hit a fly ball to shortstop in her first at-bat and a fly ball to second in her second at-bat. Across the Oklahoma Sports Network, Jordan, this weekend, district play starts in football, and here's the lineup of games this weekend. Of course, we have we have Lawton taking on Noble tonight, but then tomorrow we have Altus versus El Reno, Bethany versus Chickasha, Cache versus Elk City, Carl Albert versus Western Heights, Del City versus Collinsville, Lawton Ike versus Stillwater, Elgin versus Woodward, Jones versus Perry. MacArthur's on a bye this week. Midwest City versus Southeast, Newcastle versus Duncan, and Walters versus Christian Heritage.
I'm sure you'll be interested in the Christian Heritage game, Tracy, and the other Del City school, Del City. That they have the most interesting opponent to me in Collinsville.
Yeah, that is an interesting game. I thought the Newcastle-Duncan game potentially interesting. Newcastle thus far, pre-district, doesn't look quite as strong as they have in previous years, but it's hard to tell because the teams they play are such good, such a strong non-district schedule.
They've been some high-scoring games. So number 2 is catching for Midwest City. I believe that is Addie Scott, and we'll try to get the infielders to you when we can.
So Addie Scott moved from short to catcher, and we might have, looks like, number 13, and I do not have a number 13 on my roster. Number 13 is in as the shortstop.
Roland Baza coming out to, I don't know if they're making a lineup change. You know, the interesting thing for Carl Albert, even though they're done with district play, they're still having some really good opponents. They're going to play Elgin. Elgin's a 5A team, but it's not in the same district. In the Edmond shootout, they're going to play Piedmont, an old rival who's now in 6A. They already played Choctaw and lost 12-1 over the weekend. They're going to play Choctaw again. Playing Mustang and Blanchard as the next 2 games. So they got some tough games ahead, even though their district, as you see a buck going across our camera, not our camera lens, but the windshield there. But they got a tough non-district schedule, and these games probably prepare them very well.
Journey LaValle at the plate, batting lefty. Norelli Brown still on the mound for Midwest City. That pitch comes in high.
You saw the team before they came out just because of the injuries. I know it has to be a little frustrating for them. There was a team prayer going on.
Pop-up fly ball goes foul just out of play down the third base line. Two and one the count to LaValle.
So these tough games for Carl Albert will be interesting to see. Good for them to see who's going to be the hot pitcher heading into the postseason, because they will face some really good teams.
LaValle showed bunt, pulled back, low pitch. I think we got a ball called on that one, right?
It looked that way, yes.
Well, she pulled that back just in time to keep from getting the strike called in. 3-1 the count to LaValle. And a high pitch, base on balls for LaValle. That's the second walk of the game for Norelli Brown. Leadoff runner on for the Titans brings A.J. Bennett to the plate. Runner at first, no outs. Bennett shows bunt, pulls the bat. LaValle still second. Runner at second, no outs. And
saying she's out? Home plate umpire's making the out symbol.
Okay, safe
sure
is the call. I don't know what the discussion was. Potentially she left early. That's the only thing I could think of. But the interesting thing was that it was Coach Baza who's come out to ask a question. It was not Coach Judson. So I don't understand what the question was. I'm really confused by that. If it had been the Midwest City coach coming out, I might have understood questioning whether she left early or not. But Bennett shows bunt, pulls the bat. Bunt laid down. Barry fields it, makes a throw to first, and she's safe at first. Slide comes in at home, and Bennett continues on to second. Aggressive base running by the Carl Albert Titans leads to a score and a runner standing at second base. What probably should have been a sacrifice bunt to advance a runner one base ends up resulting in, can't even really call it an error because she just beat the throw to first. So
yeah, it's an infield single.
Yeah, an infield single and then a stolen base with the run scored.
Well, you could say, I guess, not stolen base, but advancing on the throw.
Right. Just continuation of play.
We'll see what Coach Judson, what decision he makes. Midwest got a really good record, and they got 2 one-run losses, so they're not used to trailing like this.
Yeah, they're 15-4 on the season. They've got a great record, 6-2 in district play, but struggling in this game, and he's had to make a lot of substitutions and changes here in his infield, and got a feeling that none of them are really comfortable where they sit right now in that. So Sutliff has now switched over to the shortstop position. She started the game at right field, played second after Jada Jacobs went out, and now she's at shortstop.
A very versatile fielder. She doesn't hit. She gets hit 4, but She's shown she can play different positions.
Alexis Miller at the plate for Carl Albert. She lays down a bunt, and we'll have to see. The call is just going to be foul. That ball come back and hit her, and she was almost out of the batter's box when it come back to hit her. That really close to being an out. Strike one. Shows bunt, pulls the bat. Ball comes in, pitch comes in a little high. Scott stops it, but is not able to catch it. A.J. Bennett, the base runner, is at third now. So no outs with a runner at third. Pop-up fly ball. It's going foul, but playable and caught. That one caught by Liv Davis just outside of first base for out number one. That's going to bring Bailey Ruschi to the plate. One out and a runner at third base. Carl Albert leads 5-1 now over Midwest City. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. Ruschi shows a bunt, pulls the bat, pitches high, and Bennett will score from third. The score now 6-1 with Carl Albert on top. This is the most runs that Midwest City has given up this year. They've given up 5 twice, including a loss to El Reno. A high pop-up, playable right at third base. Cadence Berry makes the catch for out number 2. Madison Etheridge now comes to the plate.
It's worth pointing out, Carl Albert, the other good team in this district's Guthrie, and they scored over 10 against Guthrie twice.
Etheridge has been on safely twice in this game due to errors in right field. Wonder which way she might hit the ball.
Yeah, when people look at the difference in the overall record between Midwest City and Carl Albert has played a difficult non-district schedule, more so than Midwest City.
Definitely.
And that served him well in this game.
Hard hit ball, lined into short center field for a base hit.
And there's no question the second time facing Norelli Brown, they just felt more comfortable. The hitters made some adjustments.
On their home field.
And, yeah, place they know well.
They're also facing her with the early lead, even though it was small. But they got down 3-0 early before they ever knew what was happening in that earlier game. And that kind of changes your mindset and your strategy just a little bit as well. So we've got a pinch runner coming in for Madison Etheridge. Is it London Brown that's back out there? Yes, London Brown on the field as a pinch runner.
And she scored a run, I believe, in the last inning.
Addison Smith coming in as the lefty at the plate for Carl Albert with a runner at first, and 2 outs on the board. It's a 6-1 lead. Brown headed to second safely. Throw comes in just off the glove of Sutliff, the shortstop. Brown safe. The ball stays close, so no chance to advance another base. Brown holds up at second. Rolly Brown delivers, bunt laid down, bounces high, safe at first. Brown rounds third.
Take
And
second.
smartly, Smith rounds first and goes all the way to second with Norelli Brown just staring her down the whole way. Brown refuses to throw the ball to second because there's a runner at third, and so there's runners now at second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's just some frustration there for them to get kind of lax like that.
Pop up, caught by second, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. But Carl Albert puts 2 more on the board here in the 5th inning. The score is now 6-1 as we head to the 6th inning. Carl Albert on top of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, Class 5A District Softball between the Lady Titans and the Lady Bombers of Midwest City. It's 6-1 the score after 5 innings of play. Leading off for the Bombers here in the 6 innings, top of the lineup, Addie Scott, who has moved from the shortstop position now to the catcher position. Leading off for the Bombers. Kinley Sutton getting it done on the mound today for the Titans. She has 10 strikeouts through 5 innings. Twice in this game, she has struck out the first 3 or only 3 batters of an inning in the first and the third. 6-1 the score. Top of the 6th. Carl Albert on top. They are the home team. Delivers a strike on the first pitch. Addie Scott struck out in her first at-bat. She walked in the second at-bat. That was the only walk of the game for Kinley Sutton. That pitch low.
Even the game's out of hand for Midwest City. They need to string together some good at-bats. They just haven't had enough.
Pop-up foul ball, playable and caught. That's Alexis Miller pulling that one in at third base. Now I need some nice hard-hit ground balls for a chance to get safely at first, because these little short pop-ups in the infield are not getting them anywhere, and a lot of them are foul balls that are playable. Just not getting any base runners on for Midwest City. Swing and a miss, and at the plate now is number 13, and I do not have a number 13 on my roster for Midwest City. Strike 2. Had some player changes as a result of some injuries with Jada Jacobs and Paige McCormick both going down. Swing and a miss on a third strike. It gets away from Kinsley Flynn. And, from Bailey Rushi. I'm sorry. Bailey Rushi, the catcher. And number 13 is safe at first.
All right, I would take advantage of this and see if she can run on the base paths.
Liv Davis, first baseman, now at the plate. Lefty, strike 1. 1 out, runner at first. 6-1, Carl Albert on top of Midwest City. Top of the sixth. Foul ball into the backstop. Sutton set. Liv Davis set in the box. She's way back deep in the box. Pitch comes in high. Got a good piece of that ball. And it goes foul down the third base line. Thought that one might be playable. I couldn't really see out there in left field. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 11 for Kinley Sutton. Norelli Brown at the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first. Brown had a single into shallow right field her first at bat and hit a fly ball that was caught just behind third base her second trip to the plate. Sutton delivers, pop-up fly ball. That was going to get past second base. Runner around second, coming in at third, sides in safely at third, and Brown is safe at first. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Addison Purcell racing, diving, reaching for that ball that was hit by Norelli Brown, but just couldn't quite get to it. Natalia Wilson now comes to the plate. She had a single into right center field her last at-bat. High pitch, ball 1. Runners in the corners, 2 outs. A well-placed ball here could score 1 run, possibly 2 with a little speed by Norelli Brown. Wilson, hits that one, little floater right to Purcell at shortstop for out number 3. Midwest City fails to put more runs on the board. They're in the 6th, and we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning with Carl Albert leading 6-1 here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School. Class 5A district softball action. This game had a lot riding on it, and right now it's the Carl Albert Lady Titans getting it done, leading 6-1 over the Midwest City Lady Bombers. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carl Albert coming to the plate. Pitcher Kinley Sutton, who now has 11 strikeouts on the game. Coming to the plate, she struck out in her first at-bat, walked the second trip up to the plate. This will be her 3rd trip. And we're in the, again, bottom of the 6th. 6-1 the score. Carl Albert continues and closes this game out. They will be the district champions, hosting in regionals. Midwest City could still finish as the district runner-up with a win on Monday, I believe it is, over Guthrie.
Yep. If Carl Albert hold on here like we would expect at this point, they're 3 outs away. They're either going to host Altus or Lawton. MacArthur would be the highest seeded team they host from the other West Side district.
Sudden battling, fouls that one into the backstop.
And if Midwest City can somehow finish second, they would probably host Noble. But if they got to go on the road for regional as a 3 seed, they would probably have to go to Elgin, and that's a really good team.
Sutton steps back into the box, takes her time. Brown puts her foot on the rubber, delivers, and the strike's called. Strikeout for Kinley Sutton. Well, I should say strikeout for Norelli Brown on Kinley Sutton.
Sutton didn't like it, but, you know, when you're up by 5 and you got 3 outs to go and you're dominating pitching-wise, you don't want to think about it for too long.
Addison Purcell, shortstop at the plate. She struck out twice in the ballgame. No. This is your 9-hole hitter. After this, we'll go back to the top of the lineup with Journey LaValle. Purcell fouls that one into the backstop. Lighting in the field here is real good. It's really, I don't know what the player's perspective is down in the field, but from up here in the press box, you can see everything real well during the nighttime game here. Low pitch.
It's really bright for one of our camera shots, not the main one we're using tonight, and that may be because it's not going through a window. So, I mean, it is pretty bright out there. This camera shot actually is going through a window. You just can't tell because we have the lights in our booth off.
And a high pitch there. Three and one the count, I believe. Foul ball into the backstop. Just tipped that one and sent it above the catcher's glove. Full count.
I don't know what the practice looks like for softball teams on the weekend when they're not playing, as Midwest City's not, but, you know, whatever, we don't know what their defensive alignment will be against Guthrie with some of these injuries. We see that's foul ball and out of play.
That one's going to land on top of the first base dugout.
But I would imagine they're going to practice over the weekend, and they need to get their defense set with Norelli Brown because, again, this Guthrie game is going to be massive no matter what, but it's also massive now coming off 2 district losses where you just got to you don't have much momentum right now, and you got to try to fix some things.
And there's another strikeout for Norelli Brown. She gets Addison Purcell. That's Purcell's 3rd trip to the plate and 3rd strikeout in the ball game. Back to the top of the lineup. Journey LaValle. LaValle walked in her last at-bat. Otherwise, she's hit 2 little short pop-ups just on the backside of the infield that were caught. LaValle backs out of the box. Bats from the left side. Steps back in. Brown doesn't waste a lot of time on the mound. Once she gets her foot on the rubber, she's generally ready to pitch, which actually got her called down earlier by the umpire after that long stoppage. She was ready to go, and he wasn't quite ready yet. Foul ball into the backstop right here in front of us. Two outs, no runners on, bottom of the 6th inning.
And the other thing about how important practice is going to be for Midwest City these next 2 or 3 days, I mean, again, you just don't know who's going to be available. And where's Addie Scott putting in place? Going to be catcher or shortstop?
Line drive, left field, gets over the head of the left fielder. Amari Russell just pursues that one and comes in too far. That puts Journey LaValle on safely, and she gets all the way to second on the error in left field. A.J. Bennett back to the plate. Bennett has been on safely in all 3 at-bats today. Going to pop that one up, foul out of play. She has 3 hits. She's put one into play into shallow left field twice and laid down a bunt. Change up, comes in a little high. Riley Brown delivers the strike. LaValle getting a big jump out there at second, but no one protecting the base. Big gap at second. What is wide open in the middle of the infield. Hard hit ball past first base. That's going to score a run. Gets past the right fielder. Bennett may come all the way around to home. She's coming in, and she's going to score on the air in right field. Wow. Eight to 1 the score now. 3 more runs would end the game. Here in the bottom of the 6th, we'd never go to the top of the 7th. High pitch delivered to Alexis Miller, who's now at the plate. Ball 1. That one's low, ball 2. Alexis Miller struck out twice and hit a fly ball to first base for an out. Ball 3, low and inside. 3-0 the count to Miller. Riley Brown looks like she's just trying to fire it hard now. That one's high and outside, 4 balls. And Miller's going to take her base.
You still expect to see that from Norelli Brown, a 4-pitch walk.
That did not look like an attempt to place a ball, but just an attempt to throw it as hard as she could is really what it looked like. And even that last pitch, though, didn't have a lot of heat on it. But Bailey Ruschi now coming to the plate. Ruschi hit a single to left field in her first at-bat. Fly ball to left field and a fly ball to third base. On safely once.
Roland Baza, the Carlsberg coach, comes out. They're going to make a pinch run, I think.
Pinch runner is Olivia Triana coming in. We saw her early in the game.
She may stay and play on defense.
That's the first time Miller has come out for a pinch runner, so she could still re-enter. Umpire having a talk with Coach Judson over there near the Midwest City dugout. Don't see any players moving around for him. Ruschi in the box. Norelli Brown set to deliver the pitch. Infield's coming in, playing the bunt.
That's 5 straight balls thrown. And they don't really have a backup option for pitchers, so hope she can get one more out. There's a strike.
That one was on looked like maybe the high outside corner of the strike zone, but she did get the call on that pitch. 1-1 the count now to Ruschi. High hit ball going foul. Just too shallow for the left fielder to get to it. 1-2 the count now to Ruschi. Runner at first, 2 outs. Rushi tipped that one. It was down in the dirt at her feet. Her bat did make contact for the foul tip. So you'll continue her at bat. Another high hit foul ball down the third base line, not playable.
Yeah, again, Norelli Brown last week just overwhelmed Carl Albert. This week they've been able to put the ball in play. They've been patient at times, been able to draw a walk or at least a 3-pitch count.
Pitch comes high, throw not made to second as Olivia Triana safe at second now, 2 outs. And the count is full to Bailey Rushi.
Of course, Midwest City has homecoming tomorrow. Whoa.
High pitch. That was not a full count. It was a 2-2 count, evidently. Now it's a full count. Triana's at third. That pitch really high as Norelli Brown struggling with her control right now. Her changeup is falling short typically, and her fast pitch is getting away from her. That one's too high for ball 4. That's going to put Rushi on base with runners at the corners. Rushi just keeps running and heads on to second. The runner at third is called out. Not sure what happened. I think Triana may have got off the base and wasn't paying attention. Throw was made to third and she was tagged, but I didn't see all of it, but she's called out at third. And that's the end of the 6th inning with an 8-1 lead by Carl Albert over Midwest City. It was a weird end of the inning, but it does come to an end. 8-1, Carl Albert leading Midwest City after 6 innings of play here in this Class 5A district softball game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School where the Carl Albert Lady Titans are 3 outs away from a win in their final district game of the 2025 season. They are leading the Midwest City Lady Bombers 8-1 as we begin the 7th inning of play. Midwest City will come to the plate, would have to score 7 runs to keep this game going into the bottom of the 7th. Carl Albert does get last at-bats as they are the home team. Reminder that just 1 week ago today, it was Midwest City with the victory 3-2 over Carl Albert over at the Midwest City home field. But Carl Albert getting it done today, and Kinley Sutton doing a phenomenal job on the mound today with 11 strikeouts through 6 innings.
So I was mentioning Midwest City has homecoming, and they recognize all their sports, and there's going to be a float for softball. And when they have that parade around the major streets surrounding Midwest City High School, I always get the view from Midwest Boulevard. And, hopefully it will be a good day for them because, I think it's the combination of losing this game but also seeing 2 of your players get hurt like that has just been a psychological blow for Midwest City.
Definitely injuries that could affect them when they have to play Guthrie again in just, 4 days from now in the final district game of the season, which has significant impact on their playoff path. Cadence Berry at the plate for the Midwest City Bombers leading off here in the top of the 7th. Again, this game, unless Midwest City scores 7 runs in the top of the 7th, which sure does not seem likely at this point, would end with 3 outs.
See, like Kinley Sutton's been so effective, she's just been able to blow a lot of pitches by the Midwest City batters, and she still has good pop on her pitches.
That pitch a little low. Yeah, you can hear it popping into the catcher's glove, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
That one's high. Bailey Ruschi reaching for that one. She didn't jump up for it, but boy, she was reaching as high as she could without getting to her feet. And Cadence Berry's on safely on the base on balls.
And she got that because obviously she was patient. She didn't swing any bad pitches, and that has been a bit of an issue for Midwest City. So,
well, Gabby Williams, who's coming up to bat, and that is one thing I've noticed with her is, boy, she loves to chase something high and outside even when she can't reach it. She swings at that one, and that's swing and a miss. Her swing has got a nice, I shouldn't say nice, it's got a chop to it, not a smooth come around on it. She starts high and comes down with the bat as she's coming around on the ball. She fouled that one off. 0-2 the count now to Gabby Williams. Paige McCormick would have been the batter on deck. Gabby Williams goes down for her 3rd strikeout of the game, and the 12th by Kinley Sutton. Cadence Berry dives back to the plate, or back to the bag at first base. Number 34, Aaliyah Williams, coming to the plate now for Midwest City.
She came in off the injury.
Swing and a miss by Williams. That was a nice swing on the ball. I think Williams played right field on last Thursday against Carl Albert.
It's Jada Jacobs' injury.
Sutton bounced that one across the plate. Runner at first, Cadence Berry. Leah Williams at the plate with 1 out. Trailing by 7 here in the top of the 7th. Williams fouls that one into the backstop. 1-2 the count to Williams. Sutton fires. Pitch comes a little inside. Berry just gets back. A throw made from Ruschi over to Etheridge at first. It was a nice placed throw. Pop-up ball. That was going over the head of third baseman Miller. Excuse me, not Miller, but the throw is made to first. Wow, for the double play, and that will end the ball game. Great play by Addison Purcell as she chases that ball down and catches it behind third base and makes the throw over to Alexis Miller at first base for the out. And I think I've got that wrong. The first baseman, Madison Etheridge, I'm sorry. But Carl Albert wins the district championship with an 8-1 victory over Midwest City here tonight. A couple of injuries on the Midwest City side. We see both teams circling around the mound out in the middle of the infield, and expect the teams to most likely have a joint team prayer here on behalf of those injured players. We see Paige McCormick as she limps out with help from a teammate, limps out to the circle to join the prayer as well. But again, congratulations to the Carl Albert Lady Titans on their district championship here in this 2025 fast pitch softball season. Midwest City Lady Bombers have another district game coming as they will face Guthrie once again. They lost to Guthrie, had a very controversial call at the end of the 7th inning that sent the game into extra innings. They lost by 1 in extra innings, 3-2 the final score. Midwest City will be looking for some redemption in that game under or behind the pitching of Norelli Brown, who has just been dominant most of this season, but Carl Albert got to her a little bit today and put more runs on the board than any other team has all season, scoring 8 runs today. Again, we have also on the Oklahoma Sports Network, we have Lawton versus Noble in football district play taking place right now. And then tomorrow we've got a huge lineup. See if I can get back to that once again. Tomorrow with our football district play, we've got Altus versus El Reno, Bethany versus Chickasha, Cache versus Elk City, Carl Albert versus Western Heights, Del City versus Collinsville. Interesting game there. Both of those teams ranked in the top 10 in Class 5A. Lawton Ike versus Stillwater, Elgin versus Woodward, Jones versus Perry, Midwest City versus Southeast, a Midwest City homecoming game. Newcastle versus Duncan, and Walters versus Christian Heritage. Final score here tonight, 8-1. Carl Albert Lady Titans win over the Midwest City Lady Bombers in the crosstown rival. Jordan, anything to add to this one?
No, it's Carl Albert's place is set. They are a 1 seed, so congratulations to them. Winning their district, they'll have an easier road as far as their opponents. It may not matter, but just the fact that they get to host again is a big deal. They've been making state every year. The last state title was 2018, but they've made the state every year since then. So we're expecting big things from them. For Midwest City, of course, they're the softball team's the last team to make it to 5A. Other teams have been in 5A for a while. And so it'll be interesting to see what they can do, but they got to deal with some adversity, of course, with the injuries, but they want to host. It would be a big deal for softball to host. That's not something that normally happens. But they're going into Guthrie kind of limping. So their defense, if their defense can get better and Norelli Brown can kind of right the ship, it was not her best game tonight. But if those two things can happen, then you like their chances against Guthrie. But if they have these same defensive mistakes, mainly just, making sure that they don't run into each other when there's a foul ball or ball hit in play in the pop-up, but also other aspects of the game, and they can just avoid that, but if they don't, it could be a tough game against Guthrie. Guthrie's pretty good. And
you mentioned the players colliding, so the impact of that tonight, it happened twice. It happened with Jada Jacobs and a right fielder, and then it happened with Jada Jacobs and the center fielder. And it's a basic, core, fundamental practice of baseball and softball is that on a pop-up fly ball that's playable by multiple players, you call your teammates off when you have it. And so we had somehow or another, don't know who's to blame for it, but we had a failure to communicate. Well, it not only resulted in those batters being on safely, which actually in one case Jada Jacobs held onto the ball. That was the one where she ended up getting injured, but she held onto the ball for the out. But you didn't just have those errors and the impact there. You had an injured player as a result that greatly impacted the game later on as well. Because it was kind of after that is when Carl Albert started separating themselves from Midwest City.
Yeah, and again, you want to have your best players out there on defense, and the question is, will they be able to do that? So hopefully Jada Jacobs, important thing is she makes a full recovery from whatever it is, whether she plays
Absolutely.
Monday or not. And the same goes for Paige McCormick. Hopefully they'll be able to get back out there, as soon as possible, but they make a full recovery first and foremost. But not having either one would be very significant. Again, we'll just have to see how their defense is able to adjust.
So once again, the final score tonight, 8-1. Carl Albert defeating Midwest City in this Class 5A district softball game. This is the final game for Carl Albert, and it does allow them to clinch the district championship and hosting a regional tournament. Midwest City still has a chance to go defeat Guthrie and finish as the district runner-up and host regionals as well. If they lose to Guthrie, they will finish third in the district and will be on the road for regionals. But they've got a strong presence on the mound and can go get it done. Just going to have to figure out some things like Jordan was talking about on who's playing where based on some injuries that happened during this game. So best of luck to the Midwest City Lady Bombers as they proceed on through their district schedule to finish that out and on into the playoffs. Best of luck to the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Want to thank our audience for being a part of our broadcast tonight. You are the reason that we do this, and really appreciate you being here with us. 8-1 the final here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.